What's good, everybody? Welcome to Bollywood Bodies episode 1. And today we're talking about Bollywood's best back, Hrithik Roshan. Now, when you break down Hrithik Roshan's back, aesthetically speaking, there's 5 main aspects that make it look good. The first aspect is how wide his back is, that V-taper. He's got really broad shoulders, and what adds to this is that he's got a very narrow waist. So his back looks even wider. The second is how thick his back is. If you look at Hrithik Roshan from a side profile, his back looks super thick. He looks like a very strong guy. The third aspect of what makes Hrithik look so strong are his monster traps. The fourth aspect is Hrithik's posterior deltoids and his scapular region, which just add to the aesthetics of the back. And finally, the fifth aspect is Hrithik's really low fat percent. So if you want your back to look like Hrithik Roshan's back, the first 4 aspects that I spoke about, you need to work on those. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about the exercises that help in enhancing those first 4 features. Okay, but before I give you guys the detailed workout, there's 2 concepts you got to keep in mind. The first is the concept of workout form. Remember, throughout your lifting life, your workout form is the most important thing. If you want to learn correct form for back exercises, make sure you check out my video on back workouts. The second concept you got to keep in mind is the concept of failure. You know, when you're doing a set and your muscle completely wears out, that's called going till failure. So in this workout, if 100% is your failure, we'll be talking in terms of percentages of failure. So I'll be saying something like, you know, in this set go till 80% of failure, in this set go till 75% of failure. So keep that in mind. Okay, and before we start, remember the written version of the program is in the description below, so make sure you check it out. Okay guys, so the first feature of Hrithik's back is his V shape, how wide he is. And that's primarily thanks to his monster lats or his latissimus dorsi. As guys, when we're doing back workouts, that's the muscle we're targeting. We're targeting our lats so that we get a V taper and we look super wide and super strong. Your lats and how wide you are contribute a lot to how people perceive your strength levels. And the best exercise to grow wide lats are always pull-ups. Any overhead movement, anything that pulls something from over your head towards your body is your best friend. So in this case, pull-ups are the best overhead movement in terms of developing your V-taper and helping in the growth of your lats. Okay, no, let's not kid around. Pull-ups are one of the hardest exercises to do, especially if you're a beginner in the gym. But there's actually 3 solutions to that. The first solution is you do half pull-ups. So instead of going the full range up and down, you only go half range. But you only do this until you can do one actual full range pull-up. So the long-term target should be a full range pull-up, but you can start with doing half range pull-ups, strengthen your back and work your way towards the full range pull-up. The second solution, if you're lucky enough to be in a gym that has one of those pull-up machines, make use of it. So again, work your way towards a full range pull-up by strengthening your lats using that pull-up machine. And the third solution involves strengthening your lats not with a pull-up machine or a pull-up bar, but with a simple lat pull-down machine which is present in almost every gym. So use the lat pull-down machine, do a lot of overhead movements until your lat is strong enough to take one full pull-up. But your long-term target has to be the pull-up, so keep that in mind. Okay, now depending on whether you can or cannot do the pull-up, there's 2 cases. Case 1 is for everyone who can. So again, you want to hit the pull-up with 3 sets, where the first set you start and you go up to 80% of failure. So you should have 1 or 2 pull-up reps left before you stop that set. So do 3 sets, and in each of those 3 sets, you'll go up to 80%. So this can be about 4 reps for some people, 6 reps for some people, and if you can go up to something like 8 to 12 reps in a pull-up, definitely do that. But also keep in mind that you don't go to failure in every single set. If you keep going to failure, you're at the risk of getting injured. Immediately after doing the pull-ups, which are a strength-based exercise, you move onto a lat pull-down machine and just do 2 sets, both of which will be high rep sets. So you go at least to 12 or 16 reps. So on the lat machine, choose a weight such that you're able to go to 12 or 16 reps easily. So in the set where you're actually going up to 12 reps, you're capable of going up to 14 reps and failing at 14 reps, but we're only going to take it till 12 reps, get a burn and stop. Okay, so that's case 1 for all those freaks who are able to do pull-ups super easily. But case 2 is for everyone who doesn't find the pull-up that easy. So for you, your primary target is to kind of build strength, but at the same time build a little bit of size in your lats. Your best friend again is the overhead movement of the lat pull-down machine. So instead of taking very low reps or very high reps, you're going to work in that 8 to 12 medium rep range and do about 4 sets of the lat pull-down machine. So 4 sets that will help you build both strength and size is your go-to, at least till you can move on to doing at least 1 pull-up. As for the weight you'll take for the lat pull-down machine, adjust it again to go up to 80% of failure. So you need to figure this out for yourself. So 4 sets of the lat pull-down machine are your best friend, at least until you can move up to doing 1 clean pull-up. Okay, so that's that about the overhead movements, which will contribute to you getting a very good V-taper. But the second aspect of Hrithik Roshan's aesthetic back is how thick his back is. Aesthetically speaking, a thick back is one of the best things to look at in someone's physique. And primarily, thick backs come from working your rhomboids, which are an internally located muscle. So your lats are the most superficial muscle, they're on the outside, but your rhomboids, they're kind of on the inside. So when you work on your rhomboids, it's kind of pushing your muscles and making you look thicker. And rhomboids are primarily worked by pulling movements. Anything that pulls a weight towards your body is perfect for building back thickness. The most important and the most effective pulling movement is the one arm row. This works your grip strength, it works your forearm, but it primarily targets your rhomboids and helps in building that thick ass back. So in the one arm row, we're going to take 3 sets for each side. When the first set, we'll start in a rep range of around 12 reps. In the next set, we'll increase the weight a little bit, go up to a rep range of about 10 reps. And in the final set, we'll increase the weight again and go up to about 8 reps. And again, the weight you choose has to be according to the rep range you desire. So if you're going for 12 reps, ideally you should fail with that particular weight at 14 reps. So suppose you're failing with 20 kgs at 14 reps, that's the ideal weight you should be taking to execute a 12 rep set. The next pulling movement is the 2-arm row. Now this is one of the only exercises I've not actually covered in my beginners workout series, but the precautions are the exact same as the 1-arm row. So you're going to do 2 or 3 sets of the 2-arm row depending on how much you have left in the tank. So try churning out about 3 sets of the 2-arm row and follow the same weight protocols and the rep protocols that we followed in the 1-arm set. So first set you'll go up to 12 reps with a basic weight, you'll increase the weight in the second set, go up to 10 reps, and finally you'll increase the weight again and go up to 8 reps. Okay, now that we've done the job for the rhomboids and the back thickness, let's talk a little bit about my favorite muscle group, the traps or the trapezius. Now when you're looking at someone from behind, how big their traps are and how shapely their traps are add to how the back looks overall. And that's what Hrithik Roshan's got going for him. His traps are these monster traps that just catch your eye immediately. Okay, now all these exercises I've spoken about have already targeted your traps just a little bit, but we want to isolate your traps and work on them. The best exercise for traps is the shrug. Now you can do this with a dumbbell or a barbell. It's completely up to you. It depends on what you're comfortable doing. But you've got to churn out 3 sets again where you work in that 8 to 10 to 12 rep range. So start with 12 reps, increase the weight, go up to 10, and finally increase the weight and go up to 8 and build those monster truck traps. Okay, and the fourth aspect of Hrithik Roshan's aesthetic back are his posterior deltoids. Now your shoulder is called the deltoid. It's divided into 3 muscles: the anterior deltoid, the medial, and the posterior. Now your posterior deltoid is the back part of the shoulder, and when you're looking at someone from behind, aesthetically speaking, the posterior deltoid adds a lot of width and aesthetics to the overall look of the person from behind. The rear delt fly primarily works your posterior deltoid and also your scapula, both of which add to the overall look of a person from behind. So as we've done with all the other exercises, you're going to take up 3 sets of the rear delt fly. Start with 12 reps, increase the weight, go up to 10, and then finally increase the weight and go up to 8 reps. And that pretty much covers it all, but there's the 5th aspect, which is the low fat percent. You gotta remember, if you want to look good on screen or in pictures, it's all about your fat percent. Now, if you ever met Hrithik Roshan in real life, you'd see that he wouldn't have a very wide frame. But on screen, he looks huge thanks to his low fat percent. If you want to look like Hrithik Roshan in pictures or on screen, you need to lower your fat percent. And if you want to lower your fat percent, you need to diet. And if you want a free and written diet that's primarily meant for Indians, make sure you check out my BB Summer Diet program. It's a written diet that will help you lower your fat percent.